Hey everybody, it's John from CSE. This is week 3 of the 2019 Invention Convention. This week we're going to work on designing and refining our inventions. Before we jump in, let's quickly review the schedule. So we are in week 3, which puts us at February 20th, the design and refine phase. Next week we're going to get started on building and testing and troubleshooting, and there's going to be a lot of planning involved in that week. The invention log, as you're working on it, it's really important that you're continuing to make progress and that you're documenting your progress inside of the log. So make sure that you're filling out the pages, or if you're working on loose leaf paper, that you put that paper into the invention log some way and capture that so that it's not all over the place and you're organizing yourself as you go. As I said, this week we're working on designing and refining. Which means we're going to make drawings of our inventions. We're going to think more deeply about the problems that we might encounter, specifically with the way that we're thinking about designing our project. And then we need to think about how we might fix those problems and go through that process until we feel like we've made good progress. Before we jump into the actual lesson, I think it's worthwhile just really focusing on what we're trying to do today. We want to make drawings of our invention from different angles. We want to make sure that we're labeling all the important parts and features, and then we want to be able to clearly explain how the invention will work. Okay, with that, let's jump into the lesson.
Hey everybody, it's John from CSE. This is week 3 of the Invention Convention. This week we're going to focus on sketching our inventions and then diagramming them. When we think back to week 1 and the problems that we came up with and some of the work we did to brainstorm solutions, and we think about week 2 and really understanding our end users, the people who are going to buy our inventions and want to use them, this week is all about how do we design an invention around those people and the problems that they're trying to solve using our invention. So we'll start by sketching out our inventions. We'll do a side view, a front view, a rear view where it makes sense. And then we'll start to diagram the different features and functions of our inventions. And along the way, we should be thinking all the way back to the problem that we're trying to solve. How does this help to solve that problem? And then obviously back to last week where we say the people that are going to be using this, how is this going to help them to solve that problem that we were working on in week 1? And as we do that, we should make sure that we have our erasers handy. This process is going to save us a lot of time and energy if we look at the invention critically and we think about the problem, we think about the people, and then we say, hold on a second, this doesn't make sense. This is going to cause us an issue down the road, either for our users or in how we make our invention, or how we think about it being used in the real world. So, as an example, one of my sons is developing the basketball mat. So the basketball mat won't have an interesting view when it comes to the side view, right? It's basically this. There's the side view of the invention because it's flat. However, the top view is very interesting. So let's do the top view because that really is the design of the entire invention. Now, Sam's invention, just to remind everybody, is a basketball mat that can solve 2 problems. One, it should make it quieter when someone's dribbling inside the house so that their family isn't going crazy when they're dribbling. It should be a little bit quieter or maybe a lot quieter so that they can dribble and practice and get in the repetition that they need without annoying the family. And 2, it should help them practice the right form. So part of this invention is sort of instructional awareness, like an ability to embed the good practices, the best practices for dribbling right into the mat. So how are we going to do that? So there's the mat. Depending on the thickness, that's going to inform how much sound it absorbs. Don't want it too thick though because you want the ball to bounce back up. You don't want it to also absorb the energy. So when Sam first started out with this invention, his idea was we'll just put on the mat the feet, okay? So here we go, right? And those feet will help people know where to stand, right? Make sure you have your feet the right width apart in a nice athletic stance, and that's going to be important for balance as they're dribbling. However, when you put those feet on there, you limit this to be basically for one size person. And he wanted it to be more flexible for a range of heights of people. Not that one mat could work for everybody on the planet, but one mat should solve for a lot of different types of people. So this solution right away, the first thing that we draw on the mat, it creates some challenges for us. How can we make this so that it's more flexible? What Sam came up with is, instead of using something that looks like a foot, where you would clearly want to always stand right there, what if instead you used an uppercase I? This gives us the ability to say, if you're a shorter person, you'd stand here, right? If you're a somewhat taller person, you stand here, and if you're a much taller person, you stand here. And that gives you more flexibility in terms of knowing where to stand. It also maybe gives them the ability to move around a little bit to say, let me practice standing on this side of the eye, now on this side of the eye as I'm dribbling, which is also a good principle for them to practice. So we start now, we've got our foot placement on here, but what about your targets for the ball? So that is right pocket, left pocket, crossover in front, crossover behind, and then crossover between the legs. And just like that, we've got the design. I just explained it, but if somebody walked up to this design, they'd say, what is that? It's a very strange crop circle that I'm seeing here. So what we will do is then we will diagram this by just taking our lines out here, and we could call that right hand target, and then we would do the same with each one of the targets that we have on here, right? So behind, back, crossover, good, left target, and then this one between legs. Okay, and then foot positions, right? Okay, so just like that, we've created our invention, we've drawn it out, we've sketched it out, and we've diagrammed it. So that's pretty easy. Now what we think about is each one of these pieces, and as I'm a person who's going to encounter this for the first time, the invention isn't going to have these annotations on it. So that helps us to think, okay, well, what do we need to create to make sure that it's crystal clear? Maybe an instruction manual, or maybe we could print right on here, right on the actual invention itself, right foot, right hand target, etc. Maybe we could actually print it right on the mat itself, so no instruction manual is needed. You can just expand it out and just roll it out and start practicing. So these are the kinds of things that you'll do this week. It's a really important part of the process, being able to sketch out your design and highlight each one of the pieces of it and make it really clear, like what is this part, what is this feature for, how does this benefit my end user, how does this solve the problem. What I would also say is you should use this time to think about how you will actually manufacture this piece, right? So if you're going to go and create this invention, what is it that you're going to need? Okay, well, having a mat, that's easy. Mats are available in different thicknesses and sizes all over the place, but when we start to think about these targets, do we get it custom printed? Do we need some kind of fabric paint, or so we start to think through all the different pieces that we'll need as we go to manufacture the actual invention, which is what we'll be doing next week. Okay? So with that, have a good time drawing out your inventions, work together with your learning partners, and if you have any questions, please feel free to email us and we can help you out along the way. Have a great week.